Okay, so right now we're going to be looking at torque. Torque is a measure of the turning force on an object. When trying to think about it, you can think about the tightening or loosening of a nut or a bolt, which would include the pushing or pulling of a handle of a wrench connected to a nut or a bolt, and this in turn would produce torque. The two formulas you can look at are T equals R times F and T equals RF sine of theta. In the T equals R times F, obviously T is torque. R is the particle's position vector. F is then the force acting on the particle. In the second equation, T is the magnitude of torque, and R is the distance from the axis of rotation to the particle. F is the magnitude of force applied, and theta is the angle between the position and force vectors. And these are just the variables that I just described. Then we're going to look at spiral fractures or torsion fractures. Again, they can also be called torque fractures, which is why it relates to torque. It's a bone fracture occurring when torque is applied along the axis of a bone. The two factors that are kind of involved in this are tension and compressive forces. So when tension is exerted upon one part of the bone and compressive forces are exerted on the other, is when you can get a tension fracture. So tension, right here, is the pulling force exerted by a string on another object. It can be other things besides a string. That's just what you think about. So tension is a magnitude of a force, and then always measured parallel to the string. Compressive forces, on the other hand, are completely opposite of tension. Instead of being a pulling force, it is a pushing. Instead of being a pulling force, it is a pushing force. So when tension extends outward, compressive forces are pushed together. For an example of a spiral fracture, we can look at skiing. So a classic example of a spiral fracture is a fracture caused while skiing. Skiers, when they put their ski boots on, if you've never ever been skiing before, but they lock their feet into the skis in like the sturdy ski boots. So if a skier breaks the ski or loses control, the ski can rotate, which would be the axis that's rotating, and the leg may be twisted in one direction, and this would create a spiral fracture because it would be using compressive forces and tension, or in this case, it'd be more tension forces. If anyone has like broken their leg this way, I've never have, but it's super painful, and these type of fractures take a very long time to heal. You might have to spend a very long time in the emergency room, surgeries, but yeah, this is a type of fracture that is very, very severe. So we can